Okay, so this problem has us wanting to maximize the area of this overall corral. But any maximum area problem involves, a couple of pieces. This is really going to end up being like a system of equations where we're going to do a substitution so that we can then use our calculator to maximize the area or to find the maximum area. So the first part asks you to write an equation that represents the total length of fencing used. Okay, so we know we have 200 total feet of fencing, right? 200 feet of fencing. And that 200 feet is used all around this perimeter, but it's also used here to partition the corrals into three equal area partitions or sections. Okay, so we can fill in some of the blanks here, right? This is just a rectangle, so we have a couple of y's going on here. We've got some x's along the side. So that 200 is made up of 6 x's and 4 y's. Right, so the second part here says write an equation that represents the total area of the corral. So all 3 partitions, total area. Well, that's easy because we know area is length times width or base times height of a rectangle. So the area of this overall rectangle is going to be 3x, that's our base, times y. Okay, and here you see we actually have just a system of equations. Okay, so we're going to use this first equation and we're going to solve for y in this first equation and then substitute it in here. Now, why do we do that? Okay, we want to create an area equation that we can really just plug into our calculator and use the features of the calculator to be able to find the maximum point, or we could use what we know about quadratics to find the maximum point as well. Okay, so we're going to solve this first equation for y. Right, so 200 minus 6x is equal to 4y. Divide everything by 4, and you get 50 minus 3 halves x equals y. Okay, so we're now going to take this and just substitute it in our area formula. So we get that area is equal to 3x times 50 minus 3 halves x. Now there's no need to distribute out or anything like that. We can simply now grab our calculator, plug this function into our calculator, and then use what we remember from our quadratic applications a while back to calculate the maximum. Kind of adjust your window and calculate the maximum. Now be careful with the windows here. Think about what kind of domains are reasonable. Right, we're talking about 200 meters of fencing here, or 200 feet of fencing here. So you're not gonna your domain is restricted in somewhat, and then think about also how big the area of a rectangle can get when we have 200 feet. I keep saying meters. 200 feet of fencing. Okay, so you do need to adjust your window so that you can find that maximum area, and you want to kind of remember those skills that we used to kind of make those adjustments.